Hey, I get it when you're hunting for a laptop that can actually handle the games you love and let you get some work done. The fear of blowing your budget on a machine that ends up being a paperweight is real. You don't want to spend a fortune on a gaming laptop only to find the heat shoots through the roof, the fans sound like a jet engine, or the battery quits before you finish a single level. And you're probably wondering if this HP Zbook 15V really delivers the performance you need without turning your desk into a server farm. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about who this machine is actually built for. The Zbook 15V is positioned as a mobile workstation, but the specs an Intel 6-core i7-8750H, a massive 32GB of DDR4 RAM, and a combo of a 2TB PCIe NVMe SSD plus a 2TB hard drive make it a monster for anyone who needs raw horsepower on the go. If you're a game developer, a 3D artist, or a serious hobbyist who runs Unreal Engine or Blender while also wanting to jump into an RPG after work, this could be the sweet spot. The dual storage setup means you can keep your operating system and frequently used programs on the lightning-fast SSD, while massive game libraries or project files sit on the larger HDD without starving the system for space. Now, if you're just looking for a laptop to play a few titles on low settings, or you need something ultra-light for travel, this is probably not the best fit. The 15.6-inch chassis is solid, but it weighs close to 5 pounds, so it's not the most portable option. The touchscreen adds a bit of flexibility for design work, but it also adds to the overall thickness and weight. And because it's a workstation-class device, the price can feel steep when you compare it to a desktop with similar specs that would cost much less. Heat and noise are the first real red flags for many gamers, and the Zbook 15V does a decent job, but not without compromise. The i7-8750H is a high-performance chip that can crank out 45 watts under load, meaning the cooling system has to work overtime during long gaming sessions. In practice, I found the fans ramp up to a noticeable hum after about 20 minutes of sustained 3D rendering or a demanding title like Cyberpunk 2077. The laptop stays within safe temperature ranges mid-80s Celsius on the CPU, but you'll definitely hear the fans trying to keep things cool. If you're planning to game in a quiet room, that might be a distraction. On the flip side, the heat spread is fairly even across the chassis, so you won't end up with a hot spot that scorches your lap. Battery life is another trade-off that can't be ignored. With a 6-cell battery, you're looking at roughly 4 to 5 hours of mixed usage, some web browsing, a bit of video editing, maybe a short gaming session at low settings. Push the graphics to high settings, and the runtime drops to around 2 hours. That's typical for laptops in this performance bracket, but it's something to keep in mind if you plan to game away from a power outlet. The extra power draw also means you'll be tapping into the Thunderbolt 3 port frequently if you want to attach an external monitor or a dock to keep the laptop cool and off the desk. Speaking of ports, the Zbook shines with its connectivity. For USB-A ports, 2 USB-C/Thunderbolt 3, a full-size HDMI, a mini DisplayPort, an Ethernet jack, and a fingerprint reader give you a workstation-level toolkit. I tested it with a 4K monitor via Thunderbolt, and the display output was buttery smooth with no lag, which is huge for developers who need pixel-perfect clarity. The fingerprint sensor adds a nice touch of security for professionals who travel with sensitive data. The display itself is a full HD, 19201080, touchscreen panel. For gaming, the 60Hz refresh rate is adequate but not spectacular. If you're chasing the ultra-smooth feel of 144Hz panels, you'll notice the difference, especially in fast-paced shooters. However, the colors are fairly accurate out of the box, which is a win for anyone who does color-critical work like photo editing. The touchscreen functionality is responsive, but you won't get the same low-latency feel as a dedicated drawing tablet. In short, the screen delivers a solid, versatile experience good enough for both work and play, but not a standout for competitive gaming. Keyboard feel is often overlooked, yet it matters when you're typing code or chatting with teammates. The Zbook's keyboard has a decent travel distance and a subtle backlight. The keys are spaced well enough to avoid missed hits, and the tactile feedback feels more laptop grade than desktop grade, meaning it's comfortable for long sessions but not as clicky as a mechanical board. The presence of a numeric keypad on the right side is a boon for anyone who does spreadsheet work, but gamers who prefer a tighter layout might find the extra width unnecessary. So, what's the practical bottom line? If you